can talk about it. In the back room of the back room, it was all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton-filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 You can. In the back room of the back room, it was all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton-filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 You can talk about it.
West Side. Yo, let's act like we're doing this for the first time. Yo, welcome to the Backroom Speaks podcast. The brave space for creatives. I'm still Law.
And I still hate it here.
And
I think I'm still leaving. I'm still Lisa, though.
She's still Lisa, a.k.a. Cocaine Ben, a.k.a. Candy Cane Ben A.
That is suggestive. I'm not.
Listen, we're going today. It's episode 13. Actually, it's 13 and a half. Yeah. If you know, you know.
13.2. 13.5.
Oh, my gosh.
13 again.
Can you introduce this episode, please?
Absolutely. All the way from the top.
I mean, we're here.
We're here. We're rolling.
It's episode 13.
It's episode 13. We're still here. The songwriter said, "I'm still here."
I'm still here.
Well, I was gonna sing and play next week, but we're still here, and we are on the move. We did have like some pre-stuff to talk about. There was a lot of crap that took place since we last recorded. You said there were two. Wait a minute.
There were two verses that happened.
Before we even get into the two verses that happened, last episode was really freaking awesome-amazing.
This is true.
Awesome-amazing. I don't know if you guys watched, but last week we had the CEO and founder of Gig Me Pro, which is a social media platform that if you are creative or not, you just need to have it.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to Joshua Nicholson all the way from up the street. Hashtag Gig Me Pro.
Whoops.
Damn. The back room is really falling apart right now. We need a new roof, a new door.
A new roof. And that's crazy. We're under a new roof.
We are under a new roof. We moved. Well, we moved. We moved. And
that's crazy. Shout out to Give Me Pro. Give Me Pro everywhere. Follow us on Give Me Pro. Law on drums.
And if you check out the Procast, you'll see us and the Carter Effect. I don't know who else is up there now.
It's just us and the Carter Effect. There's more podcasts coming soon. I'm sure.
More podcasts coming soon. But
shout out to the Carter Effect though.
Shout out to the Carter Effect. Check them boys out. They're funny as hell. But check them out. Check them out and check us out too. You know, while you're there.
We talked about verses, or we kind of mentioned verses, verses happened. Two verses happened. Bow Wow, Soulja Boy. Yeah. It was entertaining. You know. And then we had Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown, which was fire.
You said that was a draw.
And them niggas was, it was a draw, and them niggas was drunk.
I mean,
Keith Sweat was drunk. Keith Sweat was giving us drunk uncle vibes. It was all great. It was entertaining. I loved it.
What else happened last week? How was your weekend? What'd you do this past weekend?
Well, we didn't celebrate the white man's
house. On a few days after the extra anniversary of Juneteenth. Fake Juneteenth.
What else, fam? I had a funeral this weekend. Rest in peace, my uncle, Chris, a.k.a. Track.
Still praying for your fam.
Super dope person. An artist and musician and producer. But yeah, and then we celebrated the white man's holiday. Or we didn't.
We didn't.
Rather. Heard fireworks.
Used it as an excuse to cook out and be obnoxious. And if you didn't wear all of your Juneteenth gear, you got a second chance at that.
Which I did.
Yeah.
Fireworks hit different when you grew up in certain areas.
Bro.
Like I was ready for it to stop. Just don't feel the same. Hearing that all night.
Yo, what the hell were y'all doing in downtown Chicago yesterday that forced the 10 o'clock curfew downtown? I don't know if you guys are Jamal Green, he's a little rebel. He was the one that was shaking stuff up at that institution that we work at. But apparently I was wilding downtown. And carry on.
Carry on. Whatever it is,
carry on.
We support it.
Ain't my business. I'm out the way with it.
So it's episode 13. I feel like our last 3 episodes were great. Or the last two episodes, including this one, that will be. This one will be a little fun though. We're gonna have a little help.
I get by with a little help.
With a little help from our friends. But we're talking about legend. The word legend, the title legend, the mantle that is legend. I feel like we kind of know what it is and we kind of don't. I think we throw it around very, very, very loosely. And we're guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah.
But just like we do with bro and sis and all this other stuff, like we just use it too much, too prematurely. If that's a way to say that, too prematurely.
I agree with that.
And we just like throwing it around.
Period. Wake up one day and somebody calls you a legend. You woke up today. You're a legend.
Yeah. And it seemed like it's that easy. But we can't I think we're diminishing our actual legends when we do that. Because we're putting those random ass people on the same level as the gods of whatever it is, music.
Just have like the know-how and the means, like everything that basically earned the accomplishment or earned the title of legend.
So with that, we wanted to bring in a couple friends of ours to kind of help us tackle this topic, and then kind of take a little,
or just take the blame.
Yeah, take some of the arrows from us. One person who's been on the podcast, introduce him.
I don't know if you guys. I got you. I don't know if you guys are watched episode 1.
I watched it.
You watched it? I think I watched it a couple times too.
All right.
My Bose home theater system.
All right.
Nothing can replace Unsalad.
Okay.
But moving right along, if you watched episode 1, we had a whole bunch of friends on it. Not a whole bunch, but we had a few people on there. And there was this one firecracker
at the end.
At the end that really just manifested and just really, for lack of better words, showed his ass, which was probably the best version of himself. But shout out to our brother, our good friend and brother, Mr. Jarrett Dotson.
Jarrett Dotson,
everybody. If you're watching this with children, you should probably escort them out.
Yeah, parental advisory.
Yeah, we got to add the sign.
Again. And then the other person that we have, really good friend of mine, one of my best friends in the world. She's a terrible person as well.
I don't believe that. I really just don't. I think she's great. All the way from up the street, Miss Octavia Thomas, one of my favorite. Where are the claps at? I need some applause. I swear, whenever there's like some type of interesting social media debate or just anything that is attacking Lawrence, she's there and I'm here for it. So kudos, because I got some help.
That's so terrible.
Love that.
That's so terrible. So, really quick, this is not a punch. Well, people are going to know it's a punch. Yo, so I'm curious from both of you. What is, or do you have a criteria for legend or what a legend is or what it should be, yada, yada, yada? Like, do you have your own idea of what that is?
I think we talked about this before, but I feel like a legend is someone is an icon that has put time into the game.
Feel that.
I feel like once people start sampling your music and your voice, and now I'm not talking because people sample like old rap music too or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying like some people sample like Whitney Houston or you know what I mean. Like once people start doing that, I feel like okay, you reached a point where I don't know. I just feel like you have to be an icon who puts time in and people actually look up to you, look up to your music.
I think that's
can
something that
actually, yeah,
couldn't that be something that just kind of goes across the board with like
right,
not just even limited to music, but just time in the game and whatever craft.
yeah.
Like, feel that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'll take that. I'll push back on that a little bit. But what about you, Doc? Like, do you have something like that's considered criteria for what a legend is?
I don't think there's necessarily a criteria, but when I think about legend or legend status, the first thing that kind of come to mind is like, okay, this is something that has not been done before or is hard to do or pursue. So when you talk about legend status, it's like, when I think of it, it's like, okay, we're just going to use common example, like Michael Jordan. Going 6-0 in the finals is legend status. To date, no one has done it. He's in a realm of his own in that aspect. That makes him a legend because there has been, as many years he's been out of the league, there's been no one to come and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a legend in itself. So this, for me, I believe it's more so the things you can accomplish while you're doing what you can, while you're doing the things that you do and how you do it. Really, those are really the things that determine the legend status, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. I like both sides of it. I think that it's both. It's all of that. Like the doing things that haven't been done or probably couldn't be done by others. I like that part of it. I think that's really where I would come from.
Yeah, because I feel like when you think of a legend, that's a person or people in their own realm of whatever they're doing. So you just can't be like, oh, this person is a legend too because they did this.
Not specific criteria. It's everybody has their own, originality about themselves that makes them
it's really the journey you're on kind of like determines the legacy of the legend, so to speak. And nowadays, in today's time, we're a bit far from that.
But don't you think that with it not being a set criteria, that makes it so easy for it to be thrown around loosely?
No. And in all honesty, just because there's not a set criteria, that doesn't mean that
you throw the term around because everybody is original.
Yeah, and today, like y'all said, people wake up and say, "Oh, I'm a legend." No, and I kind of feel like people get these entitlements because like they're doing things, people around them, places they come from, family members, those people weren't doing or didn't have the heart, the courage, the drive, the ambition, or whatever it may be to carry out on these actions or journeys. And now this person has done it and they're successful at it, they're succeeding at it. And it's like, oh, I'm a legend. Hell no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Like you're pushing the envelope. That's what you're doing. You're doing the things you should be doing, could be doing to advance in your journey, in your walk of life, and whatever it may be. Truthfully, that's how I look at it. Like, so
I agree.
It's a lot of entertaining of nonsense, and I'm really trying to hold my words. There's a lot of entertaining of nonsense, and it's like that's really all I can do is just like shrug my shoulder and just give a SMH because like you're not a legend by a long shot. And whatever it is, I'm willing to go toe to toe with you with whatever experience I have just to prove that you're not where you think you are. And it's nothing to do with me and who I think I am. But I feel like people really need that reality check because they obviously don't have it amongst their peers, their family members. Like,
well, then people are hyping them up. They hyping them up to be something that.
What is hype? What is hype? How long does it last?
Exactly. And you can egg me on all day, but that don't mean what I'm telling you, you know what you're telling me is true, or other people may feel that way.
Okay, so here's the thing. So when I said earlier, like, the fact that there is kind of no set criteria for it. Like everything changes, everything's subjective, right? Like based on the person. It's my thinking that that's the reason that it's able to be thrown on so many people so loosely, because like if I say in order to get this job you need a high school diploma. If you don't have a high school diploma, you can't get the damn job. Now, if I say in order to get this job, you have to have the knowledge of a person who hasn't the high school diploma. It's a little different. You don't have to have a physical paper, but there's so many things that may make you, or you may say, I know this and this and that and that. That makes me on the level of a person who should have a high school diploma. That means that it's kind of cookie cut to however you slice it with a different person. Like, so I may be a legend based on this, and that's how I feel. And you may be a legend based on whatever other bullshit you may come up with in your mind. I think that's the reason why it comes off so often with people, because it's so easy to say, like, niggas will make somebody a legend. All right? Like, they could have not done a thing that's credible or worth being mentioned, but they will try to, them ESPN, them LeBron stats that they do on these ESPN where it's like, he's the first person that had a hairline back here that made a shot at 3:56 p.m. ever in the history of, like, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gonna make us a legend somehow. I feel like that's the reason why it's so easily thrown around, or that's how it is, I guess.
But I still don't feel like that should change.
It
what
shouldn't.
A legend is.
It shouldn't.
It's not a criteria, but at the end of the day, I feel like the criteria is it has not been done before. If you do it, that puts you in the respective fields of being a legend. And I feel like that's the criteria, if there's any criteria at all. Like, has it been done before? Can someone come behind you and do that same thing how you did it?
Effortlessly.
If they can, you're not a legend. You're one of the first, or you're one of the better ones, so to speak.
Yeah.
So now I got a question.
Go ahead, please.
So now, I guess with this whole legend thing, are we like associating this with impact? Like, what is it measured by? Like, how many awards or how long you kept this type of thing running? Because now we looking at like, I could have done something that, it took somebody 20 years to do. You know what I'm saying? Does that invalidate their status because of how long it took them to get there, or like me being able to pull this off in a day? Like, do y'all see where I'm going with this one a little bit?
Yeah, I get you. I see. Another example I could use is, I don't want to keep using sports related, but like
Works.
Tim Duncan playing for one organization, being on one job
For the
entire duration of your career. That's legend status. Mm-hmm. Just being in that respective field of being in the NBA and being an NBA player and a top 10 player of the game, that's legend status. And then to go on to get accolades, championships, awards, to go on top of that, okay, that separates you more, because now you play for one organization. You prove that you can do this job under one roof, with whatever you're dealt with whatever you got going on in your own personal life, your own personal body. Mm-hmm. Like, it's certain instances that affects the situation that pushes the envelope to say, okay, this is legend or this is not legend. Or you ask yourself, okay, that ain't never happened before. Do I see anybody else coming along and, reaching this potential like this person once did? Mm-hmm. So I think impact definitely has a key part in it, because like Juice WRLD, he came out, he wasn't out for that long, but the impact that he had on
just a short time,
many different generations, it pushed him to a legend status, because the time of him gaining that hype or that stardom or that fame, it pushed him higher than he already was. And then when he died, it pushed him even more further because more people tapped into his music, who he was as an individual, and they became a fan because they were able to relate to whatever he had going on in his personal life, to his music, or just whatever they were shown through social media.
Mm-hmm.
So is he a legend, or do you think he's just inspirational?
That's a good question.
That's good.
Because I don't listen to his music, and I really, when people say Juice WRLD, I can't picture his face, so I can't. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like I know he died, I just don't know who he is.
And I can speak for that because at first, before he died, like I knew of Juice WRLD. I wasn't a fan. Like I grew to his music more towards that time of him passing, like maybe a month and a half, 2 months before. And like I would say it's a bit equally both in that aspect because like it's inspiration for sure because it was an untimely matter of him dying, but at the same time, everything that he had in place, he had been doing, was doing, and everything he had planned to do. Not all of it came full circle, but most of the stuff it came out and it was like, oh, he was working on this, he was doing this, he was really, putting in some work. We didn't see it.
So do you think he still would have met that moment? Like had he not passed so soon? Because I feel like what happens with a lot of these young artists and even some older people that have these like untimely deaths.
Get the death stimulus.
We don't see the value in their lives and what they brought to the table until like, oh my God, this person died. Let me read up on him. Now I see, he was great. Whoop the bam. So like, is this something that's just it has to happen after?
Wait. Because everything you're saying is true, but everybody who dies get the death stimulus package, right? So, like, they get the whole, everybody, he was a legend. Oh, he was just like Tupac. Listen, that's something we have to stop doing. Because I think we do that with the legend, too. But with Juice WRLD specifically, I think that, I don't know if so much a legend, I don't know if it was legend, versus inspiration, or both. But one thing that he did as a young nigga, his age, in his peer group of artists, none of them rapped like he does. And that nigga was a rapping ass nigga. For real. Like freestyle. Rap.
Seriously.
And was cold. Off the top. And I'm a hip hop head. You know when niggas are freestyling off the top or not, right? So that's one thing that I can say that he does that nobody, whether you say Dirk, whether you say Herb, Lil Herb, whether you say Herbo or like any of these niggas, especially from Chicago, like that's what he got a one up on niggas. But to not make it so one artist, thing, but like I don't know if we are always clear about the separation of inspiration and legend. And I think with the Juice WRLD example that you just gave, is kind of like a blur or a mixture of both. Mm-hmm. But I feel like sometimes that's another reason why it's thrown around. Really, the question is, why is it thrown around so loosely, right? But I think that's one of the reasons, because we confuse inspiration with legend. Or, given the example Dot gave about doing things, being the first to do something and not being able to be followed by, saying like, why is it so loosely or easily just given away or thrown around or just given to a person? Like, why is it? Octavia. You're looking like you want to say something.
Why? Because, people going to do it. They're going to say what they want to say. So it's going to be thrown around regardless. I just don't think people fully understand what a legend is. They don't. They don't understand what makes a legend or even how to become one.
Yeah. I don't. I think I agree with that 1,000%. But I feel like it's also a bias thing where.
Well, like you said, the fact that you said a death stimulus package, I'm still stuck on that.
Oh gosh, I was hoping to kind of move past that.
No, you can't skip past that.
I was kind of hoping to move past that, but
but I think people do it out of pity, or not pity. I wouldn't say that. I'm going to show some sympathy towards you because you died. So now I feel like I have to call. But you brought up Tupac. You don't think Tupac is a legend?
Sure. No, I wasn't talking about Tupac. I was saying people have compared a lot of people who died to Tupac, and it gets annoying, you know. But what I will say, because I wasn't trying to go with that old death stimulus package thing. I figured that would kind of rough people up a bit, rough some feathers a little bit. But I think that it's a real thing, and it's not always out of pity either. I think it's even pettier than that. I think it's literally just trying to be up on stuff that you think other niggas ain't up on.
It's a lot to do with that.
You niggas are weirdos. You niggas will rather be the nigga to say, "Oh man, I was bumping him way before he died." Y'all really want to rush and race to do that? You weird niggas. Stop doing that.
But you literally just Googled him like all last night.
Exactly.
Just to say that.
But for some reason, that's like, I mean, we're kind of going off on a tangent there, but yeah. And so that equals the death stimulus package. Niggas saying they know you, and then the streams go up either because of that, or niggas just didn't know who you were. And I always salute that, because hell, Pop Smoke, I didn't know a single song of his. I didn't know that kid at all from a can of paint. I just knew he sounded like 50.
Me too.
And that's all I knew.
To the radio.
So after I don't listen to the radio. So shit, his song was on 2K. So
the whole time I thought it was 50 Cent. I was like, oh, 50 making a comeback.
He sounds just like
back in the game.
But but the album that they put together, you know, the posthumous album, it's a pretty damn good album. Sounded great, actually. I like it. So, you know, I think, and I think I love that when people go back and listen to the music. I just hate when people kind of they just throw too much sauce on it. And we can talk about that another time, but they throw too much sauce on it, like they knew these people. Like, oh, you know, I've been bumping him. When Nip died, it was a whole lot of that.
Jesus.
And we all love Nip, right? Like, everybody loves Nip. I didn't become a huge fan of Nip until maybe 2 years before he died, when I saw him doing Breakfast Club interviews. Because that's where I started.
I started listening to him 1 year before, but I didn't know about him previous to that.
It was the Breakfast Club interview for me. When he was
it seemed like he'd been out for a while.
Yeah,
I just didn't know.
For a long while. But when I saw, because when he was promoting the album that he was selling for $100, and then like Hove bought like 10 of them, or he did one for 100, then one for 1,000.
Yeah, he had like a little package.
Yeah,
selling them out of trunk.
Hove
like for 100.
Hove bought 10 of them.
Like 10. Wendy Williams plugged them. You know what I'm saying? Because he did something different. Like, that was legend status. Like, he was out of the trunk, literally. Mm-hmm. Forget $10, it's $100, but it's a package. You're really getting something. You're getting a valuable for me, for real. That right there, and he wasn't even mainstream then.
Exactly.
He wasn't mainstream at all.
He never really was until Victory Lap.
Exactly. He took a chance on himself. He had already set a situation up for how he felt he needed it in order to get that door open. Mm-hmm. And from there, that story grew so it generated such a buzz, because like, who the hell buying a CD out of the trunk of a car for $100? And it's 2010. We got all these digital devices and all this recording going on. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, when you hear about that, and Jay, he spent his money, that's legend status for real. Because who's going to do that? Many niggas probably have tried. They probably still have at least 90 of those 100 copies in their trunk, and probably still waiting on a payment from 5 of the 10 people who did get one from them.
Word. I think that you know, it's been a real struggle with, or like people struggle with that. And I won't stay on Nip too long, but I heard a lot of conversations like, oh, well, is he a legend? Or, you know, whatever. Did niggas really care about him until he died? Like, and I don't want to stay here on that, but yes, he's a legend.
Everybody is saying the marathon continues and relating it to their walk and their journey of life. Yes, he's a legend because y'all are taking these 3 acronyms and applying it to your life as if you understand this full idea the same way he created him for himself. So yes, he is a legend because niggas is just hopping on the bandwagon. TMC, yeah, the marathon continues.
But
it's cool.
Even if for nothing else, like even if it had nothing to do with the music, even if it had nothing to do with TMC, right? The fact that the things that he started in business, in the hood, what he did on that strip, that's legendary alone. Like I have friends here, we have people who we went to high school here, who we went to high school with, Octavia, like are doing legendary shit. Pillars is legendary for me.
For sure.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like
and
that
I'm so proud of them.
Man, and they're gonna keep getting my money.
Yes, for sure.
But like that is legendary to me to keep, and he's still opening stores. About to open another one. That's legendary. And so, by the way, because I just threw that out there to people listening, check out pillars.co. Pillars.co. Online for those, and if you're in Chicago, just look it up and go to the joints. There's like 3 locations right now. Forest City, there's one downtown, there's another one, I don't know where it is. But
87,
go to pillars.com.
87th and Jeffrey.
Yeah.
But this stuff is legendary. So why do I'm still on why is it thrown around so easily? Because now we're getting stuck into different people like Nipsey or like a Juice WRLD we talked about. A lot of it is nepotism. Or in some form of nepotism. That may not be the right word for it, but I used the example earlier about Lisa. Like if she put out something and, oh, that's my friend, so I'm just gonna. By the way, hey, nobody we support our friends, guys. We love doing that. But I'm not gonna grant, and I believe Lisa is an amazing singer, vocal arranger, producer even, and all the other amazing things she does. But we'll become legends. I believe I'm very confident in that. It's also not my goal either. I'm not like, I want to be a legend so bad, but I believe that that'll happen at some point. But I'm not going to prematurely say that, give that, because it kills her when I do that. It kills the people you're upholding. Let me tell you something. There's an artist. Nope, I won't do that. There's a person who I may have seen that happen before. Stop. I'm growing. Better. Right?
Who's the artist? No.
No. Because they're local, and I won't do that to them. To Chicago.
It's a local artist. Okay,
it's the back room, though. So you know.
Shut
up. I probably wouldn't even know. So it's okay.
I'll talk about it.
No. I don't want to do that because I don't want the message to get misconstrued here.
Yeah.
Listen, there's an artist who I saw that get placed on him early, super early. And because of his many failed attempts to try to live up to that title that niggas put on him, now the nigga ain't doing shit. Because he realized that he couldn't live up to the title that niggas were putting on him. He was trying to wear that shit. Say, hey, if you can't pick me up, if you can't hold me up, put me down. If you can't lift me up, put me down. Like, if you can't keep me here, don't put me there. Take me off the pedestal that you keep. You know what I mean? Like, that's not good for people. You're killing artists. Talk.
That reminds me of the conversation we had about her at the BET Awards, and we kind of got into what her label is trying to do to her. Mm-hmm. I think you brought that up.
Can you talk about that a little bit, if you remember?
You said that. No, I said that I think she's trying to follow in the footsteps of like Jimi Hendrix and Prince. Mm-hmm. And I think the potential is definitely there because she's super talented. But you were saying that sometimes labels don't know what to do with their artists. So they start putting them in certain areas instead of just focusing on their vocal ability, what they're, how big they can make it when it comes to music. You know what I mean? Like, I think she's on like the Old Navy commercial now. She's on all these commercials, and it's like, no, but she can sing. You know what I mean? Like, she's a really dope singer, and I think I want to see more from her when it comes to that, only because she's so successful. I think she's only been out, well known for like 3-4 years now.
Well,
and I
even
think she's
longer because she just now took
well, she's been out longer.
Yeah, she just now took the whole her thing and that identity. Then
exactly. So, and she's doing her thing. So I think she's successful now when it comes to that. But she was out way before that. And I remember like her EPs. She had some really, really dope EPs before she even became popular. But it's like, I don't know. I think I want to see more. She stopped making EPs. Give me an album. You know what I mean? Like, can you focus on that? Rather than and then like her BET Award performance was just like,
it was over the top and it wore me out.
Even the Super Bowl, was that Super Bowl? Or what was that?
She did Super Bowl. She did like she did the early what was it, like the
opening?
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, the Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled Banner. Thank you. Thank you. That's what it was. The Star Spangled Banner.
You said praise and worship. I can't.
Praise and worship at a live record.
Super Bowl praise and worship.
Somebody get Jarrett Dotson the hell out of here.
You know, one thing. I'm glad you brought that conversation up with her, because I think she's a person that I believe is going to be legendary. But I think people are throwing that on her now, and it's killing her. And I don't want it to, because she is so dope. I think she's a gem. I said this years ago. Last year for sure I said it about, like, you know, they need to protect her and, like, at all costs. I think she's one of them ones. She's one of the ones that we're gonna revere like we do Prince and Michael. That's my opinion. But I don't want her to kill herself early with trying to live up to shit that she's not ready for. Because she's still. How old is she, Octavia?
24, 25.
Crazy.
Or something like that.
Crazy. So, you know, whatever. We won't stay on that, but shout out to her. I'm sure she listens to this podcast.
She just told me the other day.
Okay. Yeah, she told you. Okay.
I just actually had breakfast with her yesterday.
I mean, come on, man. Come on. Who else but her? Okay. Here's a little fun thing. Because we're not... Oh, no. Actually, before we get to that, here's a question. For both of you. I'm curious here, and I want your honest opinions on this. No judgment. No, this is not a judgment-free zone. Hey, by the way, hey, friends, there's no such thing as a judgment-free zone. I'm judging you. I'm judging all my friends.
I'm just giving you the space to say it.
Yeah, get your shit off, but I'm going to judge you after that. Anyway, but yeah, it's a judgment-free zone. I'm lying.
I feel attacked.
But can a person lose their legend status? And that question is just as simple as that. Can a person lose their legend status?
I don't think so. What will make them lose it?
So,
I don't know.
Here's the point that I brought up to...
I've never seen it done before.
Here's what I brought up to Hot Take Larry earlier, because I used R. Kelly as an example. And now I'm thinking about... I'm going to be very careful with this, because this is
say
crazy.
It.
No, I'm going to be careful, because I'm not trying to like justify anything, but does the shit that he's done, that he's very much guilty of, invalidate the years and years of timeless music and writing? You know what I'm saying? Does, even with Bill Cosby, which I'm not going to attack that how I really want to, but does the recent events of him like going to jail for all of the charges, all that shit, does that invalidate what he was
I don't think
to
so.
Black TV? And I think that's the question that he's posing here.
You're just a legend who's a creep.
Who fucked up?
At this point.
More importantly, you're a human being.
At
the end of the day, like, we live in a society where, like, you putting yourself out there as a creative or this public figure, influencer, whatever you want to tag yourself as. Like, once you start doing certain things and putting yourself in a certain light, like, people, they're only going to want to see you in that light. Mm-hmm. They not interested in. It's a pedestal.
Yeah, they put them on a pedestal, and it's like, you can do no wrong, but you forget that they're still human.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and to answer the question, no, I don't think, because like they were accomplishing these things in the midst of them doing all this bull.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, whomever you may tag there,
Kevin
like,
Spacey,
anybody.
It reached the light after they became a legend, though. Like they were a legend before this even came to light, anyway. So no, I don't think they lose their status because of what they're doing.
No, I think that they were a legend while doing it. Well, before it came to light, yeah, but they were
to light.
They were, you know, R. Kelly was making fire ass albums while he was also messing with 14-year-old.
Okay.
So are we like? Does that make us more forgiving? I guess
No.
in that case,
No.
I don't think it makes us forgiving. I think it just opens our eyes a little more.
So legend with
when
the
it comes
contingency
to
plan.
putting people legends on a pedestal.
I hate you.
Legend with the contingency plan.
I hate you.
Legend, but you got some character issues. Legend, but you're a fucking rapist. Legend,
but yeah, though.
But this is the point. Like this is where I'm at with it, though. Like
so. Okay.
So is it all the way through? It's just because I can really do this amazing work, but the what's the word? Moral construct. Does that?
Okay, here's my thing to that. I love where you're going here. I also hate it.
I don't give a fuck. That's
I think you're being an hey, what is it?
Pessimist.
So, listen. Because nobody gave me a clear-cut answer of what a legend is.
Oh, you're reaching.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because you didn't give me an answer. Octavia gave me an answer, but it was kind of in the air. It's like it's still subjective. Dot gave an answer, but it was still subjective. Because it's different for everybody. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Amen?
I just work here.
So when it's different for everybody like that, and it's like we don't have a real cut clear answer for, or you know, definition of what a legend is.
Yeah, sure.
When we take it away from somebody, why are we doing that? Like what you did was you did what you did on both sides of it. You gave us this music that was timeless, that I don't listen to anymore, by the way. I think we made that clear last episode. But you also did some F shit, and you're canceled for that forever. But you still did some legendary stuff.
You cancel just a canceled legend.
So now
how do you cancel a legend?
I'm really gonna drive this a bit.
The cancel culture, first of all, in 2021
is different.
Can do many things. Okay?
It's different.
But how can canceling a legend doesn't mean they're not a legend? It just means they're a legend that's canceled.
I said that. I say you're just a canceled legend. You're still a legend, but you're just, you know what I mean? They canceled you when it comes to
you're still amazing.
How do you cancel a legend? How do you cancel someone in the culture?
Ask them that about Bill Cosby.
And on the other side of that, how are we as people like to validate somebody like who like with this whole criteria crap for legend? Like who are we? Like what justifies that? Like who makes that call? Who says this is what it is? Because you got this amount of Grammys, or because the masses, we adore you and your craft, that makes you that. So who are we to like snap rob the person of that too? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm being a little bit of a dick here, but I don't know. I just work here.
I mean, I feel like it's subjective. Like, and I also think it doesn't really matter, honestly. But it's good to hear that perspective because you're saying, or what exactly are you saying? Because I hear you asking questions, but like, do you have a set stance on it?
Well, I'm kind of like the never-ending question, and that kind of like falls into your whole all of this is subjective type of thing. It just it'll never be clear, I guess.
Right.
But I was just asking that, like, you know, just to pick brains on that. Like, are we dismissing the character issues, the moral constructs? Because if that's the case, if we justify, you know, all these people with all these issues still because of their work is legendary, because of the work they put in on the field or the court, or, you know, what they've done for society, and they still morbid as hell. Like, what about people like Mother Teresa and Gandhi? Like,
well, Gandhi's canceled.
Well, Gandhi's okay.
I mean, look that up later, but yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm sorry.
And it's like even with people with like Martin Luther King, like
Martin Luther King
on his wife.
we
like,
cool. We cool with him.
But like this is the.
Martin Luther King didn't touch no kids like allegedly. Sorry, Elijah Muhammad did. Allegedly, I don't know. I don't want to say that because I rock with the Muslim faith, but you know, I don't know.
Accountability ain't widespread.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we can talk about this all day.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. Maybe we'll edit that out. No, we won't.
No, we won't. No.
Listen. Okay, really quick because we're gonna go. This episode's not gonna be that long. That much longer. In a more light sense, who do you think? And I want to be very clear, Jarrett.
Oh God.
I want to be very clear, Jarrett. Dot. That we're not talking about our local artists from up the street that are in our hometown. We're not shooting at home. We are not shooting at home. I want to say that again. We are not shooting at home. So, with that being said, who do you think are like some artists that we kind of lifted up that probably shouldn't have been as lifted up? Like, who are the overrated ones that we've kind of put on a pedestal that they don't deserve? Because they exist.
Not from my hometown.
Don't shoot at home.
I'm not gonna shoot at home, but I'm definitely gonna shoot at a lot of egos. I'm gonna go on a whim and I'm gonna say Drake. Only because I have nothing against Drake. Drake makes great music.
He makes praise and worship tunes.
He knows how to appease to his listeners. That's the best thing I can say about Drake. But Drake is also not a Michael Jackson. He is also not a Prince. He is also not an Elvis in everything Elvis has not done and everything he gets credit for. Drake is his own individual, and he's done things the way that I feel was best for him. So Drake is a great celebrity, artist, makes great music. But in my opinion, he gets put on that pedestal. Like, you ask me who I'm taking and who I prefer rather, and Drake is the option, like, and he's up against a Michael Jackson or a Prince or it's just, I've heard crazy analogies when it comes to him. And it's just like, how dare you? Like, granted, he's great because I would say he's like one of the main artists who doesn't miss. To the public, to the widespread, he don't miss. Mm-hmm. I could care less for a lot of the things that he puts out. Doesn't mean it's not good. I could care less. That's my personal preference. But a lot of the things that he puts out, like, it gets a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from him at all, but he's not Michael. He's not Prince.
True.
He still has a bit of a ways to go.
Yeah, I agree. I actually like that pick. I think that he is a bit overrated, but he's amazing at what he does. But
yeah,
for me, Drake is
Drake.
He's Drake. I mean, his name is Drake. But I don't think like he's not involved enough for me to put him where people put him. Like he raps. Like, and that's it. He doesn't produce. He doesn't really create. Like, I mean, his flows and stuff are dope, but a lot of people will say he steals them from other people. And then, you know, he had help on songs or whatever. Who cares about that? But I feel like he's not involved enough for me to put that on him. Sure, he may be a legend, but he's not a legend like Michael is a legend or Prince is a legend. So I agree with you on that. Who you got, Tay?
Please don't crucify me with. Edit that out, first of all. Just never mind.
We're not editing it. We're not editing anything.
Because they're gonna put a whole bunch of Barbie icons. I want them under my statuses.
Oh, so you
But
finna say
nonetheless,
Nicki Minaj.
I feel like she's overhyped.
Sheesh. Is there any more to that?
I don't know. It's just I liked her back in what was that? Was that 09? 10? Something like that? Because she showed us something different, right? But then I don't know. She kind of I wouldn't say fell off because she didn't fall off. I wouldn't want to use that term. She just became overhyped. They started overhyping her based on her past. I don't know.
I think she feels subject to the legend.
Yep.
The legend thing. Like, she was definitely dope, killing the game, coming on strong, had her own way. It was like, this is hot. This is like really what's up. Like, we haven't had a female artist that prominent and dominant since like a Lil' Kim for real.
Right.
So when we got that, it was like, all right, cool. The game need this. We enjoy this. She sounded like she keep putting this stuff out here, so cool. But they started tagging her with the legend status, and then shortly after, it was different artists coming up behind her, challenging her as an artist. Not even.
She did not like that.
Is she a legend? Is Nicki Minaj a legend?
Is she a legend?
She can be.
I can't say that she is today.
I can't. No, I don't think she is now.
Yeah, because like.
What? So wait. You don't think she is now?
But remember,
so she lost her legend status.
I never called her a legend in the first
place. So she was never a legend.
But that's my personal opinion. But let me tell you,
she ever reached legend status.
I don't think.
I think what happens is people, like you said earlier, you said people started to make people a legend too soon.
Yep.
Like they started to put that out there too, and they did that with her. She's one of those people. So now it's like she has that mentality of you can't tell me nothing and nobody can challenge me. When, yeah.
You got a take on that? You don't think so? You don't think Nicki's a legend either?
I don't think she got there yet. I think she's one of those people that during the time when, well, she's still relevant now, but like when she really took off, she just kept. I think she rode out the times, like made the best of the time.
When she first came out, like I said, 09.
Yeah, that 08, 09, like that wave. Like
she took off.
Off. Like she was innovative. She was doing some shit that wasn't nobody else doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She capitalized on that. And I think when somebody is just like very present and driving in a lane like that, you can't help but to acknowledge them. You killing the game right now.
Yeah.
Now, when we look back at this 20 years from now we got almost 40 years of music to put into play.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because that now we getting into like the time thing. She's been doing this a long time. She's been at this level, performing at this level, putting out this caliber records for a long time. But now I think she just really like rode out the times. She was in a bag, and it worked.
Okay, here's my take.
Whatever, already.
No, I'm with y'all, kinda.
What do you have to say that makes us like?
I never. Well, I want to be clear. I never called Nicki a legend.
Oh, okay.
I never said it.
But do you think she's one?
I don't know. Here's the thing.
What?
But I can't not call her a legend. I do think she was overrated. That I do believe. But like just like I believe Drake is overrated, I do believe Drake is a legend. Too. Like he had 3 songs. He had 1, 2, and 3. That didn't happen before.
Drake.
That's legendary-ish. It is. Sorry. But Nicki, I don't know. Like I struggle with that because she was the nigga from a certain time to a certain time. There was no other female in that space. She raps better than any female that's ever rapped. And I'll wait for somebody to tell me different. Because Young and May cannot rap with Nicki Minaj, even though she's right there. But people are saying that Nicki can really rap for real. She's not for play.
You know who I like this up and coming? Is it Amaretta? Omeretta? Is that how you say her name?
Amaretta.
Amaretta Sour?
She's not Amar. Oh my God. She's new. She's up and coming. So she's not up there with Nicki or anybody. But she can rap her butt off.
Really?
I know that for a fact.
I don't know.
You gotta send me some stuff because I
have
can't
to.
even give it a fair like.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I feel like she has potential, even though she's new.
So yeah, I don't know.
We were all just like
send us who you talking about.
Some stuff.
I don't know if Nicki's a legend, but I won't call her one. But I won't not call her. I won't say she isn't. Huh?
What about Lauryn Hill?
Why are you talking about Lauryn Hill? Nobody said anything about Lauryn Hill.
No, what about Lauryn Hill,
Yeah,
Lauren?
what about Lauryn? I'm being a butthole again.
Okay, Lauryn Hill is criminally.
You gotta have Robin
She is criminally overrated. She is very overrated, and I think that the world holds her on this pedestal. And I always be like, why?
Her album is legendary, I think.
Her album, yeah, sure.
Because of, let's dissect that, if you shall.
Yeah, I mean, who made it?
Oh, Jesus.
Right. I like her album.
Who made it? Like, it wasn't her. Lauryn Hill, first of all, she's a dick. That's like, she shows up late. Like every story, all the stories about her is like she's an asshole. But outside of that, with this one album that you gave us, it's not like like Biggie. He only was able to give us 2 albums before he died, and people call him the best rapper alive, best rapper ever. But he gave us 2 albums and he died. She gave us 1 album and bounced. Like she did, you know what I mean? Like, and people hold the Miseducation like it's the holy grail, and I'm sorry. I can
name have anything else to judge it.
They don't have any. That's their argument. Every time somebody says why she's not overhyped, they bring up the Miseducation.
And every time they do that, I be like, and what else she got? Because I can name full albums better than the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh Lord.
What's one?
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. You want me to name R&B albums better than the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill? Oh, okay. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. Should I say it?
I may or may not agree with you. So
TP2.com is top 5 greatest albums of all time. R&B. TP2.com, there is not a skip on that album. How many skips? How many times did you play Miseducation? Like, can you play Miseducation without a skip?
I can't.
Without a skip?
I can.
You can. Octavia.
Because you've been playing it for so long.
I don't skip that album. I sing it all the way through.
Because you don't have any more albums after that to go to, so you're going to take every second of that album and cherish it.
Well, that's a fact.
Oh God.
And by the way, Lauryn Hill, this whole thing wasn't about the Miseducation, because the Miseducation is a legendary album, like Tay said. But Lauryn Hill is extremely and criminally overrated. Laughable how she is just put up on this pedestal like, my nigga. It's not that hard to be the best rapper when you're standing next to Wyclef and Pras in the Fugees.
Great by association.
Pras was a terrible rapper. I don't know. We need to.
I just wish she would have came out with more. That's what I wish.
That's everybody's story.
Yeah. I wish Biggie didn't die either. But guess what? She could have come out with more music. Instead, she let us hold her up. I think that stuff we were talking about earlier, about how we put that title on niggas too early. Yeah. I think she's a victim of that. And I think she was scared to drop anything because she knew that she could not live that. She couldn't do that again.
She also like.
Is Dot talking?
Yeah, he's talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. Because
she also like she was becoming a mom then too. Like she was having kids back to back.
Yo, I saw Beyonce do Coachella pregnant. I'm sorry. Tell me something else. Tell me something else.
That's Beyonce though. Like Lauryn Hill didn't have to do that if she wanted to be a mom.
And niggas hold Miseducation above every Beyonce album like it's just the holy grail. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me about that.
I like B-Day more than Miseducation, and
that's crazy. Yeah, you're gonna get shot for that.
Oh my god.
You're gonna get shot for that. So yeah, stop
I will
parading.
play B-Day from beginning to end like it's nothing. Like it's a new album.
How many skips you got on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Like play X Factor and shut up talking to me.
I thought you were talking to Lisa because you asked me that already.
I just threw it out there. I wasn't necessarily talking to either one of you, but it's like just play X Factor and shut up talking to me.
He's losing it.
Oh, come on now.
Okay, do I?
Just X Factor.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, this thing I ever. Yeah, I know. Shut up. There's a million albums better than that. Okay, who else we got? We're 53 minutes.
You got that thing on there?
Let's do it. Got it. All right.
Yes. Lost Ones.
Oh my gosh. Which is a great.
You don't like that one?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I'm saying though, like come on, man. It's not what niggas make it. End of story. Right? Now let's talk about Bow Wow for a minute. Just for a quick minute, really, please.
Gonna take a smoke break.
Please, because we're 54. We're 54.
Bow Wow?
Bow Wow, yes. We're 54 minutes in. I just want to ask you two people, because we don't have to stay on. Based on your answers, we don't have to stay on long.
You're not asking me?
No.
Okay, I can't.
No, because we already kind of talked about this.
I want to play.
But do you consider him a legend?
No.
Dot?
Do I think Bow Wow's a legend?
Yes.
Yes, he had boys around here wanting cornrows and Mickey Mouse pendants.
You just made this segment a little longer. So you said
Tyrion service.
You said
Michael Jordan was a legend. Then you gonna turn around and say Bow Wow?
But wait. Are you saying this in jest or are you being serious?
I'm being serious. Did he not have boys across the nation wanting to have a dog, wanting to have cornrows, and
no, Allen Iverson made us want cornrows.
I mean, yes, but also after Allen Iverson came Bow Wow.
I think that's just another case of Nicki Minaj. She capitalized on the times.
Wait. Here's the thing.
Just because I want to look like you don't mean I think you're a legend.
That's not my only point.
We were kids.
Wait, there's more.
He had a wave, and the music he came out with, who was doing it? Romeo was trash.
Wait. Okay, first of all, I watched the verses with Bow Wow and Soulja Boy, right? I watched Little Romeo get up there and say that Bow Wow was the Michael Jordan, that Little Romeo was Kobe, and that Soulja Boy is LeBron.
How?
For all
that
three.
Boy don't have a Kobe trait in him.
The only legend
from California.
The only legend out of the three of them is Soulja Boy for me. Let me tell you why Bow Wow's not a legend for me, or not a legend. Bow Wow, his whole persona. I don't know if you guys know a guy named Jermaine Dupri, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest producers of all time. He wrote Confessions, by the way. It's one of the greatest R&B albums of all time. That's a classic album for you. Just want to throw that out there. One day we're gonna talk about underrated people too. What's his name? Jermaine Dupri. He created a group called Crisscross. You know what he did with Crisscross? He went and just got two niggas out the mall. He threw some backwards clothes on them. He said, y'all gonna do this and this and this. He wrote some songs for them, and Jump was a huge ass record. Hey, guess who else he did that for, guys?
Bow Wow.
Oh no, before Bow Wow, Da Brat.
Da Brat, yeah.
That's true.
Then he did it to Bow Wow. He wrote those records. He made the persona that Snoop Dogg kind of created back in, doing Doggy Style.
And modernized it.
And he took it. He gave him clothes. He gave him songs. He told him what to say. He wrote the lyrics. So why are we calling Bow Wow a legend?
So you pretty much saying he could have done that with anybody.
That's my point.
And that's a fact.
He did. No, he did it with anybody.
Because he did it with anybody.
He took two niggas out of the mall and said, "Here." And Jump is one of the hugest records of all time.
Shout out to the producers, man.
Hugest records. Give me something else outside of Jump.
I missed the bus. Oh, I missed the bus. That was a great record.
Come on, let's go to 5. Let's go to 5.
I can't. But Bow Wow is the same thing because he didn't attribute to none of it. He didn't contribute.
Oh my God.
I see your point, but
Bow Wow made no contributions to his own career.
You sound like Kanye when he jumped on stage with
I think
Taylor
the person has a bit of it to. I think the person has a bit to do with it. Like you can go grab anybody and tell them, "Hey, do this, do that, do that." But I mean,
it's
at
different.
the end of the day, if they don't have that charisma, or you know what I'm saying, just that will or that draw within themselves to actually carry out what's being instructed for them to do.
Star power can't be taught. I understand that. I understand that. And there was some part of Bow Wow that he had that as a kid. He ain't got it now. But he had that at some point. However, everything was literally created for him. So I'm not calling you a legend because you had charisma.
But a lot of people get called legends because of their charisma in the respective fields.
That's why he say he gets thrown around so much.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's in my notes.
I get that, but
can't even.
What does that speak to? Does it speak to the artist? Does it
speaks to the people, the consumers? Hey, listen. Guess what? The people won't be, and we're going to end. But people will not shake the titles that you give them if they're just as narcissistic as you want them to be. Like if I'm just this narcissistic asshole who wants everything to be about me all the time, when somebody comes and boosts my ego, I'm gonna ride that forever. Niggas called Bow Wow a legend one time, and he's been riding on that for the last 10 years for some reason. And he's put it in his mind that he believed he started things that he didn't start. Okay? That one artist I was speaking of that's from Chicago, whose name I won't say, he thought he was bigger than what he was because niggas around him did it. We do that to our friends so much. That's why it's important that I have you niggas on this call right now, because I consider you my real friends. Jarrett, you're my brother. Everybody here is my real friend. I would expect you to tell me the truth. But niggas don't do that. And so when niggas don't do that, you have a bunch of people walking around delusional. Like Bow Wow. I just got peppermint oil in my eye and it's burning. But we're going to end this. Yo, listen.
I was wondering what was going on over there. Was you good?
But no, shout out to all the overrated artists and celebrities. And shout out to underrated ones.
Wow. Wait, before you end it, what did you think about the Bobby Brown versus Keith Sweat?
I thought it was entertaining. It was
a draw.
It was the funniest thing ever.
It was a draw though to me.
You think so?
Yes.
You know what? I just don't like Keith Sweat's voice, so.
Nobody does. He never could sing. But those records are timeless. And the records that he wrote, oh my God. The stuff he did for After 7 and his own stuff.
Johnny Kemp.
That one song for Johnny Kemp Johnny Kemp never sang a song ever again after that. But Just Got Paid is one of the greatest, though. Man.
Because it's yet being played.
It's super dope. So I call it a draw because I had a hard time picking a winner for that one, but it was entertaining and they were drunk. Keith Sweat were definitely just off his joint, but it was amazing to see, and I can't wait until there's another versus like that. I want to see apparently there's supposed to be a Stephanie Mills or it was rumored to be a Stephanie Mills and Stephanie Mills against gosh, I forgot. God, I can't even think of it. Shaka Khan.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Which I will be here for, but I also want to see more producer battles. I want to see.
Me too.
I want to see Dre and Diddy.
That'd be dope.
I want to see Kanye versus anybody. He will never do it, but gosh, because I
just want a shirt. I just want a shirt that says "Drink Responsibility."
Drink responsibility.
That's all I want.
Why did he say that? They were really drunk. Shout out to
It was
Bobby.
after Keith said Sharap.
Shout out to Bobby Brown, man. Bobby Brown is a GOAT. I don't care. He's a GOAT. Listen, we're done, G. First of all, shout out to Dot and Octavia for coming on today.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing the game.
I didn't think we were gonna make it to an hour on this episode, and we're an hour
I was
3.
a little concerned, but I mean, you put 4 idiots in a group.
I mean, who knows what's about to happen when that happens?
Hey.
Listen, you're gonna see them again because I'm gonna somehow con them both into coming back on the pod to talk foolishness again. Yo, I do want to say that Patreon is coming. I'm gonna say that every week. Stay on. Don't hang up, guys. What are we wearing? Last week we had Gig Me Pro creator, CEO, founder, all that stuff. Josh Nicholson on the pod, and I didn't wear his merch that I owned already. And so I'm wearing his shirt that's too small for me. Shout out to Gig Me Pro. This shirt is so dope, but I just need the shirt to fit. So you guys won't see me stand up because it's so small.
It's a crop top.
As a matter of fact, when the episode is over, I'm actually gonna cut it off. Okay, so
it's a crop top.
Just keep me lifted. But shout out to Gig Me Pro. Go to Gig Me Pro. Add me. Follow me on Gig Me Pro.
Add me.
Where the pros are. It's super dope. Get your badges up.
Check out Backroom Speaks under
check
Procast.
Out for sure. Procast. What you got on? Is No Fear Here?
I got on No Fear Here.
I actually wanted something from there.
I actually may have something for you in the car. I kind of want to keep it, but I'll give it to you. But No Fear Here, Donald Buster Woods.
And G3.
And not even G3, but just Donald Buster Woods by himself. I will shout out G3. G3 is how I got my start a little bit. But all right, go to hell. But No Fear Here is a dope brand that Buster started maybe like a year it was pre-pandemic.
It's been a while.
He started it a minute ago, and the Juneteenth joint was raw. I got one in the car. But yeah, so support No Fear Here. We'll add the information. Shout out to Donald Buster Woods, everybody.
Why do I keep doing that? Listen, it's episode 13, bro. And we made it through. We're probably gonna get killed for this episode. Shout out to my guys, Jarrett, Dotson, aka Dot on the cut. Shout out to Dot on the cut.
Dot on the cut.
And then my guy, homie, Octavia, Mary Thomas.
Not Mary.
I'm so sorry. Shout out to my
that's
dog.
Your middle name for real?
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
It's Marie.
It's Marie. So I'm like, I know this. I know. Can't know that.
So listen, episode 13.
Mary.
Patreon is coming.
Patreon stuck in traffic.
Follow us everywhere. BRSP everywhere. You know the vibes.
Oh, real quick before we go. The Backroom Speaks is still looking for an alternative co-host. Hey, cut it out. Cut it out.
Okay, whatever.
The Backroom Speaks is still looking for... I'm serious. I don't think y'all really realize what I go through here.
Pray for me.
It's wild.
It's all right.
And if you love me, send me a resume. As a matter of fact, all you gotta do is send me a text message. My phone number is 708.
You can talk.
All right. Anyway, it's the Backroom Speaks. Octavia Thomas, Jared Dotson. I'm Law. This is Lisa. This is the Backroom Speaks, the brave space for creatives.
And you ain't found me.
It's the Backroom Speaks, the brave space for creators. Cause find me another one, dog.
You can talk about it.
What's up? Oh.
In the back room of the back room, it was all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton-filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 Of the back room, it was all bad news in the back room. Skeleton-filled closets in the back too. God knows where you are. You can talk about it. 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 You can talk about it.